Welcome to Storytelling with Lindsay Bednar. I want to talk about parenting. More specifically, I want to talk about overparenting. Overparenting is when we insert ourselves in our kids' lives and attempt to control the outcome. It's when we're so worried about our kids getting hurt that we remove obstacles from their path. While it might be well-intended, it has been leaving the kids of our society anxious, depressed, and ill-equipped to handle setbacks. This is a relatively new phenomenon, and it has increased significantly in recent years. So much so that people are referring to it as a crisis. And listen, we're probably all guilty of it at some point. After all, we're the first generation of parents to have every horrible piece of news literally at our fingertips. We are primed to fear the worst possible outcome if we don't protect our kids from pain. But feeding into that fear has only created more problems, as fear does. And overparenting can look innocuous. A simple example would be driving to school in the middle of our day because our kiddo forgot an assignment at home. Anyone else guilty of that? Of course, it's frustrating to think of our child anxious at school because they forgot their presentation that's due that day. But if we don't let them figure it out for themselves, we are robbing them of problem solving, and we're taking away natural consequences for their disorganization. Also guilty. Overparenting can also lead to the need to fill your kids' time with activities or special events to prevent boredom. A lot of parents fall into this trap for a few reasons. They may feel the need to make special memories frequently with their kids and feel like that requires a special event. They might think it's easier to busy their kid than deal with them complaining of boredom. Been there. Or for some, they might want highlights on social media. Whatever the case, boredom fuels creativity. Kids need to have unscheduled time to be off devices where they can use their imagination or connect with friends or get active, get in nature. Or how about this? Your teenager is having a conflict with someone at school. I'm not talking about consistent bullying. That's a separate issue that always needs to be dealt with. I'm talking about the one-off drama-filled issue between your kid and another kid. Let's say someone said something mean to your kid or spread a rumor about them. Do you call the other parent? If your answer is yes, I want you to think about what is your intention. Some may say, well, if my kid was doing that, I would want to know. I've said that before too, but I've since stopped saying it. And here's why. I work really hard at creating open communication between my kids and me. I want them to come to me on their own when they have done something that they're not proud of doing. I've given them countless examples of missteps I have taken so that they know I won't judge them and have likely been there before. Kids feel safer talking to their parents when their parents trust them and remove judgment. So I show my kids I trust that they'll share those moments with me. Does it work 100% of the time? Probably not. But my kids come to me a lot, and they do share those things that they're not proud of. If our children do something that they're not proud of, wouldn't we all rather hear it from them than from somebody else? I think if most people were honest about why they would call another parent to tell them of their child's behavior, they would simply say, I just wanted it to stop. I get it. Seeing your babies in pain because of someone else's poor decision is tough. And those are the moments we absolutely need to be there for them. But at some point, our babies will go out into the world, deal with adversity, and they're going to have to navigate it on their own. So now is the time to allow them to develop the tools that they'll need to navigate those issues. I'll never forget when my daughter was in elementary school, and she came to me to tell me about an issue she was having with some of her friends. It was one of those fights I had had with my friends at her age 1,000 times. And it was my first moment of, yes, my daughter has a conflict and I know exactly what to do. So excitedly, I told her what had happened with me and the best way to navigate it. I could see her withdrawing from the conversation. After a while of her disengaging, she said, "Can we please not talk about this anymore?" Confused and a little deflated, if I'm being honest, I said, "Okay, I'm sorry, honey. I was only trying to help." And she responded, "I get that. But next time, will you ask me if I want advice before you offer it?" Ugh. Wow. Someone who feels like I'm pretty damn good at communication, I was floored at my oversight. I kept thinking of the scenes from Wine Country when they're keep repeating, "May I offer you some feedback?" If you haven't seen that movie, that's not going to land as well, but highly encourage you to do so. What my daughter was so eloquently reminding me was that people don't want you to swoop in and solve their problems. Not only does that diminish their issue by conveying its simplicity, but it robs the empowerment of helping them get there on their own. And at the root of it, kids just want to feel heard. They really don't want our advice. Just as a therapist helps a patient, the best thing we can do is ask questions, hold space, show them love, and give them the confidence that they can solve the issue on their own. Our kids are capable of so much more than we give them credit for. Let's normalize trusting them, listening without judgment, and believing that when they do fall, they're going to fall forward. If you feel like you may be overparenting or someone you know may be overparenting, #gift, and are looking for some helpful tools, check out the books How to Raise an Adult by Julie Lycott Hames and The Gift of Failure by Jessica LaHaye, linked in the description.